Joining us now, former Justice Department pardon attorney Liz Oyer and MSNBC political analyst Anthony Coley. He served in the DOJ as the director of the Office of Public Affairs during the Biden administration.
Let's start with that New York Times reporting about President Trump asking DOJ to comp him for the lawsuits and investigations into him. There were supposed to be guardrails. Those guardrails were an independent DOJ. Do those guardrails exist anymore?
Those guardrails do not exist within the Justice Department anymore, that's for sure. Only Donald Trump could think that he's entitled to compensation for being subject to legal process. People don't get compensated for having to go through a prosecution, even if the case is only dismissed. This is really just a shakedown. He's sticking his hand in the taxpayers' pockets to take money that is paid by all of us to try to enrich himself. And it's really par for the course with how he's treated the presidency writ large. Right now, there's nobody in the department who can stop him from doing this because he has fired all of the career officials who have all of the safeguards within their portfolios. Pam Bondi fired the ethics director of the Department of Justice, who should be telling her and Todd Blanche and many other officials that they need to recuse themselves from any decision making in this settlement that Trump is seeking from the department. But I'm very doubtful that that is going to happen. His personal lawyers will decide whether he can give himself a payout from the taxpayers' pockets.
I'm sorry.
This is disgusting.
I'm sorry. Because I'm a lay person. Okay. Right. I only ever used to be a comms person for the lawyers, and even then, you wouldn't really let me in the building. I got stories about Anthony Coley.
There you go with that.
This is maybe I don't understand. Right. What is the president owed money for?
You want to explain this?
Well, he is claiming that he should be compensated because he was prosecuted by a special counsel who was lawfully appointed. Right. That is not something that you get paid back for. If you have to go through lawful legal proceedings, that money comes out of your own pocket. It does not come out of the pocket of the taxpayers.
So should everyone else who's been prosecuted by a special counsel now get in line to get a compensation?
Yeah, no. I guess it's like, so, okay, thank you for clarifying. So I'm not crazy. He's asking to be paid for nothing. He's literally making it up. Okay, so he is trying to turn grievance into governance yet again.
Right. So this would be one of the most blatant acts of political corruption of our generation if it were to happen. But I want to be clear about this because there are a couple speed bumps along the way, right? A taxpayer group could file a lawsuit to prohibit this, right? Because this is not the president's money who would be, these are the people's money, right? 230 million taxpayer dollars. And I think, I'm not a member of the bar, but I think there could be some people in the bar who raise questions here about ethical concerns, right? That the president's personal attorneys are actually the ones approving this. So I think there's some bar things there. But I want to be clear about even just the number itself. We're talking $230 million. When I was at the Justice Department, the last time there was a similar type of claim like this, it was for the Dylan Roof matter. Do you remember this? Mother Emanuel. Mm-hmm. Those people got paid out $88 million. So I want to put that in perspective, right? And the reason that they got paid out is because the FBI failed to conduct a background check on those shooters. So apples and oranges here. This is completely unprecedented. It's uncalled for. It's disgusting. And I want to just say one additional thing here. There's a government shutdown happening right now across the street. And on the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue, they're tearing down the East Wing. So where are your priorities, Mr. President? What you're supposed to be acting on behalf of the American people, and you're really just trying to line your own pockets here.
He's lining his own pocket. Look, this story is, for me, as disgusting as what's happening down the street with the East Wing, a $200 million boondoggle paid for presumably by private sources, which, again, no one knows where the money's coming from. But this is the era we live in, folks. Meanwhile, you have the stories around Jack Smith, who's now in the crosshairs. I want to read for you, Liz, a quick excerpt from the Smith letter, which highlights the absurdity of Kash Patel's claims. Quote, "There is simply no support for FBI Director Patel's recent assertion that Mr. Smith put the toll records in a lockbox in a vault and then put that vault in a cyber place where no one can see or search these files. It's not clear what cyber place in a vault in a lockbox Director Patel is describing, but Mr. Smith's use of these records is inconsistent with someone who was trying to conceal them. Lockbox, vaults, I mean, Patel seems to be all over the place in terms of exactly what this matter regarding Jack Smith is about. Unpack that a little bit. What exactly is Patel and the lawyers going back and forth over here?
Nobody in this administration is beholden to facts. So they're trying to cast aspersions on the investigation that was conducted by Jack Smith to discredit it. The idea is to get people to buy into the president's claims that this was a vindictive prosecution against him. And it's really just a distraction from what Trump's own Justice Department is giving back to many other people, which are prosecutions that are political in nature. They are not supported by facts and law. They are truly doing what they're saying they're trying to stop, which is weaponizing the machinery of the justice system. So there's no there. It's all just a distraction. Kash Patel is not a serious leader who is tethered to facts or law.
So can I jump in here and just say what we're talking about here are toll records. What are toll records? Toll records are like what you get from a phone bill, right? Where you have the date and time of a call, you have perhaps the length of a call, but you don't have the contents of the message. And the reason Jack Smith was seeking that information is because there was public reporting at the time that the president was calling members of Congress to urge them to delay the electoral count on January 6th, trying to disrupt the results of a free and fair election. And what he did, you're the lawyer here, but this is typical prosecutorial activity. And quite frankly, when I read the reporting about this, I was glad to see him do it because that means he was doing exactly his job. So what's happening here is normal. It's par for the course. And not for nothing, they raised this claim on the day that Pam Bondi was appearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee, anticipating that she's going to get all these questions about what? Jeffrey Epstein. And indeed, the press was talking about this foolishness.
It is about the divergence from one topic to the other. It is also, though, about creating a sort of propaganda and narrative about what happened to Donald Trump, his list of grievances. And what I would say, Michael, is that is the part that is hard to undo. Right? Republicans sitting in that hearing, knowing that all of their exchanges with Pam Bondi were getting clipped for the right-wing ecosystem. There's no backsies on that. You can't litigate your way out of that. They got what they wanted from those exchanges.